Hello everyone, I am Doodlemans86 and today we're reviewing the NECA Ultimate Stripe Gremlin. This is NECA Ultimate Stripe Gremlin. As you can see, he's a beautiful boy and we'll be going over it today. So you may hear my voice a little funny. Reason for that is because I'm wearing a lot of face protection and you'll see why in a little bit. But let's just go over this Gremlins box. We are here with the poster with Gremlins Ultimate Stripe at the bottom. They're cute, clever, mischievous, intelligent, but dangerous. On the sides we have Gremlins Ultimate Stripe. On the other side we have practically the same thing. On the back here we have a few promotional images and a little bit of a story right here, if you will, which I'll read. A gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son and finds one at a store in Chinatown. The shopkeeper is reluctant to part with the Mogwai, but sells it to him with the warning to never expose him to bright light, water, or feed him after midnight. All of this happens, and the result is a gang of gremlins that decide to tear the town up, and on Christmas Eve. We have some beautiful, yummy popcorn, some gremlin images, and the bottom, and the top. And now you're about to see why I'm wearing a bunch of stuff, because it has come to my attention that my quality has gotten better, but with that now you can see reflections off my off clear boxes. You can see I'm using a Cheez-Its box for holding my camera and stuff. That's why I'm here. So just to be safe, I'm wearing a bunch of masks and face gear and stuff so that if you do see my face, you won't actually see my face. I'm wearing a skeleton mask, a hat, a mask, hoodie, everything to protect my face, because y'all won't ever get a face reveal until I actually do one. We have this cute, and with your average NECA box, here's the little diorama piece you get of misty smoke. I'm assuming this smoke is based off the scene when the gremlin gets out of the water and spawns an army of lots and lots of evil little gremlins, and you can hear me taking off all this face gear. So here we have our little gremlin friend, and to name one negative, he, just like the alien rhinos, this dude can't stand. Stripe has trouble standing, especially if he's holding something. So I'm going to choose to display him without him holding anything, and more of like what you're seeing in this pose. So yeah, we'll get into that in shortly, but yeah, he's just not very great at standing, and if this is what Stripe is, I'm going to assume that the other NECA gremlins are just like this size. He is obviously 6 inches. So for articulation, well, let's go over this. Well, I want to say it's a swivel. It feels like a ball joint, but I'm not going to force it. His ears are actually on hinges and they can flap like this, look like wings. However, these two do flap in different directions. As you can see, putting them back all the way, one ear is farther behind than the other, so that's a neat little. His mouth can open and close. His neck is definitely on a ball joint. He can, well, if he could, it feels tight, so I'm not going to force it. We have a ball joint on the chest, and I love these articulation points. They're my favorite. For the shoulder up here, aka the arm, we have like a ball joint. I don't know what these are called. Hinges that can move a 360. Anyway, we do have a hinge, and yeah, a hinge over here at the elbow, I want to say, and then we have a swivel at the hand. The leg is on a ball joint. For the foot itself, it can swivel. You do have a stand. He does have holes at the bottom of his feet where you can place a stand, so that's pretty neat. Anyway, that was articulation. For the paint and sculpt, it is amazing. It looks so realistic. There's a glossy finish to all this. You can see the very dark olive green, the yellows and the browns, the tans. And the inside of the mouth is very nicely painted and sculpted. You can see his tongue has lots of wrinkles in there. His eyes look beautiful and realistic. These big eyebrows, and then you have his ears, which are very nice. They're not thin, so they won't break. Some armor plating on his shoulders. The neck is very wrinkly and ugly. His not so muscular, weird chest. You have some very fine details on the hands here. Those are very sharp. I really like how sharp they are. The arms, more of that. You have the hind legs. I like the details at the bottom of the feet. They look very nice here. Those are some very sharp claws. I really like that as well. Got some more armor plating throughout, and you got a bunch for his tail. You can see the back here lifting up the hair. Some more beautiful paint and sculpt here. And the fur is kind of like the monster's critter. However, it's not glued down, because if you would, then the neck and head wouldn't be able to move. So, yeah, but just like the critter, the hair can move however you want. So overall, the paint and sculpt are fantastic and nicely applied. So how about I bring out a comparison with a few other NECAs that might be in your collection. So here's the size comparison with a few other NECAs that you might have. He is 6 inches, but as you can see, compared to many of the figures here, he does stand a little smaller. Look nice in your collection. Next thing to go over here are the accessories. You can see that many of these are the weapons that Stripe uses against Billy. So here we have a little nice skateboard. I like the wood texture on the bottom. I wish I could feel it because it's kind of painted. We have the nice little wheels. Little contraptions here that keep the wheels rolling and still. You can see the wood is very nicely painted, and so is the steel with some translucent wheels that look very nice. And the little contraptions. You have this sandy texture on the top of the skateboard, which feels very accurate and well made. And overall, it's a pretty great accessory, a 10 out of 10. We have the little saw here, which is very simplistic, very, well, simple. It's got its sharp edges. It's not too sharp, though, so you can't hurt yourself with it. You have the little hole, and I don't know what this thing is. Very simple, but very nicely well made and very effective. Also a 10 out of 10. And our last accessory and biggest is our chainsaw here. You can see here we have all the wording. Be careful with the wire, because I did break it off the first time I played with it, and I had to glue it back, so be careful with that. You have a little button here. You have a little saw here. You have some wording and some labeling everywhere. Nice yellows and black, and you do have some nice work going on around the whole thing. Very nice chainsaw, very nice. It's also a 10 out of 10. Ripe friend over here is supposed to use these accessories in very nice ways. For the skateboard, I think we all know what he can do. He's supposed to stand on it. He's supposed to be able to hold this little saw here, as you can see. But I couldn't find a way for him to hold it other than moving around the fingers. But I don't want to break it like that. But as you can see here, he is holding it. I don't know how. I tried, but it didn't work. But I'm not going to force it. Of course, he's able to hold the chainsaw. It took me some time to figure it out, but he can hold it. You want to take the right hand here. You just want to put his fingers around it. As you can see here, I got it around his hands, and he's holding it like that. And after this, you just want to use his other hand to support the chainsaw in whatever way you can. As I said before, though, he cannot stand with the chainsaw in hand. So that's very unfortunate, but oh well. So overall, it's a good figure. It's a 9 out of 10. It loses a point for having bad stance, I want to say. It can't stand, and even if it's not carrying anything, he has trouble standing, so that's a problem. Other than that, he is still a pretty great figure, and he gets a 9 out of 10 from me. He looks very realistic, and he looks very nice. Definitely worth picking up. I do recommend you bring a stand with him, and please do not feed him after midnight. Until next time, we'll see what NECA's next.